Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wayu Sundari with official number is A1M220076. In this video, I want to explain about silent way and Dessugestopedia and total physical response or TPR. We begin to the silent way. What is the silent way? So the silent way is the name of a language teaching method invented by Caleb Gattinyu. And then silent way is one of the teaching methods where students learn in a silence, and of course the students can be focused and very optimal in understanding that is being learned in this teaching and learning process. And it is based on the premise that the teachers should be silent as much as possible in this classroom, but the learners should be encouraged and produce as much language as possible. So the general aim of the method or the silent way is to help early level fluency students get a foundation in the target language with the ultimate goal of being near native language skills and good pronunciation. And the important part of this ability is being able to use language to express themselves. And the general goal of the silent way is to help beginning level students, like I say before. And then for this learning process, the teachers as a role only refers to the chart containing consonant vowels, and the teacher point several times in silence, and after a while the teacher just gave an example of how to pronounce it, then appoint students to read until they are correct. And in the learning process, the teacher's role only refers to the chart containing consonant vowels, and the teacher point several times in silence, and after a while the teacher just gave an example of how to pronounce it, then point students to read until they are correct. And if the students make mistakes and then get something error, of course the teachers does not take action, but makes it reverence for students responsibilities in developing themselves. So students are required to correct their own mistakes. I think that's all for the silent way method. Okay, now we move to the second method, namely is Dessugestopedia. So Dessugestopedia is a learning application that uses pedagogical suggestion to help students get rid of the feeling that they are unable to success and get rid of anxiety in learning. In this method, learning is done by sticking posters both inside and outside the classroom that will be in the heard every week. And some of the principles of this method are learning in a cheerful and have a song are used to calm students, and visual arts give positive suggestions to students, and mistakes are corrected gently. And the purpose of this method is to accelerate students learning to use other language for everyday communication. And in this as if by eliminating the physiological barriers that students bring into learning situations, and students' feelings are very what is called it concerned and or a priority in the method. And of course of this study students can be very fun, and then they are not they are not a problem for this study, and they can relax to including the material the about the target language. And then of course teacher can be just is not teacher is not an annoying person, because this method is very fun. For the last method is a total physiological response, or a TPR. And in the learning in the learning, this method that is carried out by accompanying students response to teaching. And in the teaching, the teacher will give instruction to students, and students must follow the instruction given by the teacher. And some of the principles in this method are meaning in the target language can often the conveyed through action, and memory is active through learner response. And students will start speaking when they are ready, and the aim of this method is to reduce that stress that people feel when they learn another language, and thereby encourage students to persist in their studies and beyond the initial level of proficiency. And I think TPR how to make students can memorize some vocabularies for the studies, and students can be practice for the learning in the learning process. And then the teacher can be for the beginning, the teacher can be a role model for maybe the vocabulary, some vocabulary about for the explain is maybe the teacher can say this is book, and then the students can follow what the teacher says. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.